It's also the mid lane Nature's Prophet from Carl the Killer.
Is he against the Razor?
Very interesting.
Oh no, Faded's going bottom. So mid lane against the Puck, Ajit's Pug. Both have really good base damage, which is the good news for the Nature's Prophet. Usually when you're playing against a Puck, you always have not enough base damage. Like, Puck used to be on par with Queen of Pain. Now Queen of Pain falls very behind in that matchup because of the fact that she has not enough base damage.
Yep.
So
Puck just hits you over and over, and he does a ton of damage.
He really slaps you with that auto attack. But
every time I've seen Carl, he's on like one of these carry mid heroes, like the Shadow Fiend or the Tinker. One of these heroes that can make flashy plays, have huge impact in the game. But Nature's Prophet, it's definitely a change of pace.
yeah,
He still can be that carry in the ultra late game, but he's a hero that's very centered around making these global movements with the teleport, right?
yeah.
Starting these fights, pushing these towers down. It's much different.
I feel like every time I see a Nature's Prophet that gets like all this farm, like he keeps up with the rest of the team, but it feels like for some reason he just falls off in the mid game in spite of having all of this farm. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm alone in thinking this, but I don't know why that is.
That's why a lot of players don't like playing Furion.
Because he just falls off, I guess.
I feel like he is truly the master of none. Like, he can gank, but he doesn't contribute that much to a gank. He has a disable, but it's one that's heavily and very easy to counterplay. And when he comes to fights, he doesn't really bring that much damage. It feels like he can do everything, but he doesn't do everything as well as a more specialized hero would. Like Sand King when he ganks is a stun, right? Epicenter for team fights. He kind of half-asses it.
I think that's
Except
fair.
for split push. He owns the split push.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was going to say. That's the one thing he's super good at. And I still feel like there are some heroes that are even better at split push than he is because, like, of Blinks, like AM, Like, he could TP around the map, but he can still die if he's not careful, whereas AM is pretty hard to gank when he gets, like, Blinks up and stuff like that.
Yep. Furion's pretty flimsy.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. Flimsy is the exact term I would use, actually. Like, he's pretty thin. He doesn't have the most armor in the world. Actually, he's sitting at 6 right now. Of course, he was at the tower, so 4. Actually, decent base armor.
Just he never builds those survivability items is the big thing.
Yeah, like, the most survivability he goes for is, like, a Shadow Blade, and that's not even really a survivability item.
Exactly.
Nando is getting run at by a Coddle Omni Knight in the top lane.
This is such a sad lane, isn't it?
This matchup is, if he gets purified, he's dead. And actually, Skylark mangoed to get the kill, but the creep died that he was going to try to purify, and Nando survives because of it. So that's a rough lane, and it's not like bottom's really going that well either. The Sand King only has 2 last hits, so this is a pretty great start for Clutch Gamers, even though Furion's doing really well in the mid lane.
Yeah, Clutch Gamers are applying a whole lot of pressure everywhere, except for this mid lane, but it's pretty much just a wash with Furion out farming a little bit. But this off is always going to have the pure damage from the purification.
Even if you have like more levels in Mana Break, it still doesn't really do anything as long as he's much.
No wonder Anti-Mage hates magic. He just gets blasted by it all day
long. I mean, if you constantly had to play against an Omni Knight, wouldn't you too?
Of course.
That would disgust me. And Nando, like, he's just getting shredded. They've hit like 5 out of 5 Illuminates for Aframush, I think. All right, I don't know why I keep drinking the tap water down here. It's not working out well for me.
Oh, no.
I'm going to hold off. But anyway.
That's not good.
No, enough of that. We have the Nature's Prophet in the mid lane with 10 last hits, the Puck with 9. Very close matchup for the time being. The Nature's Prophet's Treants will help out a lot. He has, again, very good base damage as well. The good news is that he is a Furion, and he can TP. He just has to do it out of the range of the Puck, because otherwise it's pretty telegraphed. Splitter's coming in. You'll ensnare it up, or rather getting the ensnare up onto the Sand King. They don't have enough mana for another Burrow Strike. He does if he mangoes. He might get slapped down, but they're actually going to back up and not go for the kill. Yol's also super low. Is he really going to go for this? The creep's on him, and Van thought about diving the tower. There's only 1 stick charge on the Naga, so he really thought about it, but he decided not to go for it.
Yep, Carl was channeling the TP, but Ajit walked up and just silenced him, so stop it.
Oh, that's always good, having Waning Rift. It's a nice ability. But yeah, that's the issue with the trying to TP out. Like, Puck, when he gets 6, can actually solo kill you. If you try to TP out, like, randomly, you might just die if you're not careful.
Yeah, the snap damage is 300 now. It does a ton of damage.
Telekinesis onto Omni Knight to keep Lumic and Nando alive, and they will stay alive for now.
So Nando is farming, right? He has 13 last hits, doing pretty decently. The problem is that Clutch Gamers have complete control over this lane, right? Omni's going to get to like phase boots eventually and just keep on clicking Nando. And it just gets really difficult, especially once like a Soul Ring comes out. He's always just going to get constantly harassed. It's a lane that you just don't want to stay into.
Yeah, and I don't know where you go though as Nando. Like bottom's going to be just as miserable, right?
Yep, exactly. And Rubik does not really offer anything in the lane, right? Like if you have 3 heroes, sure, the telekinesis is good when you can lift and have everybody right click, but in this scenario where you're watching your anti-mage farm, you just can't do anything.
I almost feel like if you had Ledge Tusk, this would be a million times better. Grims is maybe going to survive? No, very close. Good attempt at the TP, but the static link damage was too much along with the Riptide coming up from Yol. And now Van's going to be alone. He has a double damage rune, but he really can't man-fight Fated. And he stayed it a little bit, but he's not going to get punished for it. But you know what? Like, Rubik doesn't really offer anything in the early game. You're absolutely right about that. So that's why I think, like, if they had... I know, like, Tusk was probably banned, but, like, I don't know. At least you could help out the AM a bit more. Like, Rubik doesn't do anything.
Yep, he just gets bullied out of the lane. He can't really do anything, but I guess they're chasing him. Instead of the anti-mage gonna get blasted again. Ugh.
He's got a Ring of Regen. He's gonna have that coming out, and he also has a salve. They're trying... No, the Fade Ball didn't bounce. Oh, it did hit, but it didn't do any damage. Oh, my God.
Cancels the salve.
He should have just waited. That was a nice play, though, from Maframoosh, but yeah, Nando should have just waited. And he missed the CS. Rough stuff.
Oh, no.
That's the... he's tilted. You know it. So, Carl now has his phase boots getting close. He's got the Blades of Attack, so he should have even more damage, actually. 83 for Puck, 92 plus 11, so 103 damage for Carl. Nature's Wrath, is he going to TP? They have the Split Earth. The Static Link is going. They might lose Grims. Good Sprout, though. They have another Burrow in 2 seconds. He's going to try to deny himself. Good effort, but not going to happen. It was like pulled. They're going to have a Split Earth, and along with the Burrow Strike, really good rotation from Carl. And immediately, Lumic rotates mid for this. Although, okay, he doesn't dive. He could have maybe gone for it, but it's a good thing he didn't.
Man, oh man. The early levels picked up on freaking double null into the Blades of Attack. He hits for a ton of damage, especially with Nature's Wrath coming in. Sorry, Wrath of Nature.
I say Nature's Wrath too, so it's fine. It's the same thing.
Makes more sense.
I think Nature's Wrath was the Warcraft 3 and WoW ability, I believe.
Oh, that's right. It was.
Which is why I say it, and I don't think anybody really minds, to be honest. But you're right, this Furion hits like a truck, and now he uses full phase boots too. He didn't have it before that fight. Is he going to get ensnared? Almost. That was nice. And they rotate back mid, but Ajit is... even if they had a lift, killing him at this point is pretty difficult. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Carl goes for you. Excuse me, not Yulze. Orchid Malevolence this game against the Puck and the Omni Knight, right? I think it's not a bad idea.
No, not bad at all. Sounds very good, actually. But he actually has the Ring of Aquila in his quick play. All right.
Oh, no,
I'm a bit worried this might be... Okay, there we go.
He queued it out.
That's way too many small items to go for.
Yeah, I agree. He even thought about going the drum. I think you already have double null tally. You can get another hero on your team to get drum, although I don't think anybody else is going to build it, actually. Because the AM's certainly not going to build it in the... You need the Blink Dagger on these Sand Kings, so... Are they going to kill Nando? Ooh, they missed the Illuminate. Very close. Nando,
close
in spite of all of this pressure, he's a level ahead of Skylark. He's only a little behind the Puck. I'm surprised he is doing as well as he is with all the pressure that's being applied. Oh, got him. Bro Strike, Naga Siren. Of course, she's level 4. She doesn't have the song available. Even if she did, she'd still be dead anyway. The air image is coming out. That's not going to save her, though. Faded. They don't have another Bro Strike. They stacked their stuns a little bit. And instead of getting, you know, just a support and a big kill on the core, they only get the one.
Yeah, but it's push time. You got Nature's Prophet on every time you fight him. Every time you have an engagement.
And the push is gone. What were you saying? Sorry.
Let's move on.
Oh, God. What a hero. Although he might die. He's dead. And even the Rubik coming in. Naga, what are you doing? Plasma Field, Lumic might TP out, can't get away in time. Faded, I don't know if you can man-fight Carl.
These trees are tough.
They are very tough. Van has another Burrow in 2, but they can't find the kill. Plasma Field? Even if he had a good roll, it wouldn't matter. Nice TP from Carl. smart play. They don't take the tower. That's a lot of space created, though. The coddle comes down bottom, and the AM gets more room to work with. The puck didn't come, though. He was mid the entire time.
Yeah, but he got a ton of damage on that mid tower, so not too bad at all.
Jesus, they have like the same items on the puck and the Nature's Prophet, with the exception of the quarterstaff and the Furion. Oh yeah, look at his tower damage. It's in deny range. He probably shouldn't have had the illusion to attack it.
Yep, he just put the tower in deny range, so they're gonna miss it on some gold. Unfortunate.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? No big deal. They still get the first tower of the game against the Nature's Prophet lineup too.
Yeah, very true.
What do you think about the Treads build on the Sand King this game?
Oh, it's pretty interesting. I don't know. I would have liked to see drums instead of treads, perhaps.
Yeah.
But the idea is that he wants to play as a core, right? He wants to sit in this lane, just post up here in the bottom lane, and try to be some sort of threat. Usually you see Dominator. Not too much on Sand King, but that's the idea behind the build, right? You're going to sit in this lane, pressure it over and over, and treads do help you do that, but I feel like these other items are a bit better at it.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like treads is what you'd have gotten a couple years ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I know it's hard to pass up on treads though, because the strength giving you a lot more than what it used to now. Like he's up to 1200 HP. He's a very tanky man.
That's true. It does give a lot.
It's actually an insane amount of HP. Again, strength tiers are so strong. Meanwhile, Nando getting run it by Skylark, but here comes Carl. GA not available. He does have Purification. They missed the Sprout. Skylark just phases out of there. He's got the movement speed of a god, and he's fine. Although maybe not. Well, that's a solo kill? No, they had the Lishrak there.
Yep, with the Wrath of Nature as well.
Yeah. Did he cast it like...
oh boy,
Nando is dead. Yeah. Skylark was waiting around the corner with the Purification, and he just ran at the anti-mage. And that's the first death of the game for the AM. And like he did really well up until that point to not die, but that's it. And that's going to put him a little behind now.
Yeah, it's a very costly death. His tower is already super, super low, and Razor's rotating up top to secure that one too. I wonder where, oh, mid lane got some action. Yol.
Sprout. No song
Jukes.
still. That was a good effort. You got to give him credit.
Yep, too much damage.
And now the coddle comes mid, and he says, I'm going to try to illuminate and take your wave away. And he certainly will.
Boom.
Good glyph.
Oh, they almost glyphed for the...
The treants did go down.
Yep, can't glyph the treants,
Oh,
unfortunately.
that glyph, though, the glyph lasted long enough that it actually stopped the illuminate. Although it's not going to matter, I don't think. The Omni's just running in. They've got a Veil. The Dreamcoil comes in onto Grims. He's probably dead. He couldn't get off the Split Earth. He gets crushed. This coddle pick is really becoming a nuisance for Execration. They can't get any of these towers. And they lose the tier 1 top as well. They're going to TP bottom middle. They'll take the tier 1 there because the coddle can't TP, so there's that. And there's no tier 1 for them to lose in the mid lane. So not that bad for Execration.
Yep, a full split push lineup coming out from Execration. Lot. Anti-mage, no boots, just rushing the Battle Fury, trying to keep up in farm. You know, when you skip the boots on Anti-mage, the Battle Fury is actually, yep, saw that.
I can't believe he gave that away. I guess
Well,
he wants to blink.
The bottle.
Yeah, that's probably true. And I suppose the blink is pretty important in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Like, no matter how much farm the anti-mage has at this point in the game, he's still going to be just farming, right? But when Sand King gets the blink dagger, then he can be a bit more active on the map.
Right.
It is the impactful item.
So, I guess, even though... Oh, hold that thought. Ajit's fine. They don't have the Split Earth or anything. The Waning Rift comes out. He's going to Orb. The Jaunt probably comes in. And Van has Burrow in too. Fairy Fire comes out. They need a Split Earth. They missed the... Okay. This is really bad now. This is very bad for Execration. Yeah, that Juke was nice. And Grims is dead too. That's too much. Oh, I don't know if you want to do this, Lumik. Okay, he got Purification. He definitely wants to do this. Ajit? Do they have the damage? The Urn? What a lift. Okay, it worked out. You know, it shouldn't have worked out, but it did.
That was pretty awkward, wasn't it?
That was extremely awkward.
Strike, setting all that up.
He's like that was his plan all along. Worth it.
He was in it for the long con, that's for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, more room for the AM top. It would have been even more had the AM not had to deal with a Omni Knight in the lane the entire time. But it feels like everywhere this AM goes, Skylark is right behind him trying to stop him from farming.
Yep, he just follows him. Makes AM's life miserable. since farming jungle creeps does not give anywhere near as much force to lane.
Yeah. And, I mean, once he has Battle Fury and treads, your farming speed increases dramatically. Like, you'll see the AM go from, like, 6th in the, or rather, yeah, 6th in the net worth chart to, okay. 6th in the net worth chart to, like, 1st or 2nd in the next 10 minutes if he gets the Battle Fury here in a few minutes.
Yep, but Skylark on the Omni going for
Oh, here we go.
Nice repel.
Good repel, yeah. Skylark there in the right time. He has his Purification back up with Soul Ring. They can keep chasing. They're actually bringing in the Nagashiken Song. And there's no Shrine, although they decide not to go for it. He was able to Burrow Strike away. Good stuff. And Orchid is almost done for Carl. This might be the big item. They still have... They would be fighting 4 versus 5 if they did take a big fight because of the AM. But they have... Not only that, but they have the Blink Dagger on Sand King just about done too. So, like, this is one of the most critical junctures in the game for Execration.
Yep, it's going to be gigantic because now Skylark won't be able to play the super aggressive way top. It's finished, Mott. Teleports up in 2. Skylark pushes up. And they might be able to go on it, but look at these wards placed from Clutch Gamers. Very, very nice.
They're very clutch.
Haha!
Thanks for giving me that. This is going to get dewarded.
It's true. Right? Like, they knew that it was coming. The Orchid was almost complete, and Skylark still has a long ways to go before he actually finishes the Radiance. And even with the Radiance, he's still killable.
Yeah. He is definitely... You know, Omni Knight doesn't have that ridiculously cooldown on his abilities anymore. You know, they're all pretty long. 11-second Purification instead of the 8 seconds that it would have been. You know, the mana cost on Repel, plus a pretty long duration anyway. Or, excuse me, cooldown anyway.
Cooldown.
They did Sentry this, and they didn't deward it. They literally walked, like, here, and then said, I can't find a ward. There must not be one here. Burrow Strike, they need the Orchid, and they're not there in time. They just went too early, or Carl wasn't in position to find that fight. But they did force out Dreamcoil, which I suppose is nice, and they TP'd away, so they might be able to push this, unless this Kylo rotates up, which I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yep, this is all space for anti-mage, Mott. He's farming away. We all know what happens at 3 a.m. That's when he has 3 anti-mages.
It's been a while since I've heard the term 3 a.m. That's like one of those 2013 Dota comics.
Pretty much. Definitely a blast from the past.
I would highly recommend for people that are somewhat newer to Dota, if you've never seen, like, there's a collection on Reddit especially of Dota comics. Like, they're kind of like Rage comics, but better. Orchid, in the meantime, onto the Skylark, but he's fine. They don't do nearly enough damage. This is turning into a disaster of a fight, and they actually have to leave on the Nature's Prophet. Grims might die. He actually has a point booster. This guy's a god. He's out of here. He's a horseman. You gotta go for the disco, but now he's he's actually gonna see that there's a ward here. And he doesn't die. Not only does he see that there is in fact a ward here, but he doesn't die either, unless this is a really weird isometric angle, but he should know.
No, it's definitely in vision, right? Yeah. You can click it and see the actual circle on the model. But, yeah, Carl manages to escape there, working on the Force Staff. Look at him camping out the bottom lane. Razor might Plasma Field and then reveal Carl in the bottom lane, but I don't think he could actually kill him or the ability to rotate fast enough.
They're trying to bring down the Rubik. I don't think that's enough to kill this Razor because he has a Hood of Defiance.
Yep.
Even with
they
the
definitely need
damage.
one more hero.
Yeah. I don't know why he's sitting. I guess he's just going to make Treants and cut the wave. No, I guess he's just going to go top. All right, cool. Good stuff, guys.
Crafty, this Carl guy.
He's very
Looking
crafty.
for kills.
They've picked up the Plasma Field for Lumic. A nice spell steal to keep the waves pushed out. There is still a lot of good vision here for Clutch Gamers. The ward placement, as you mentioned, have been really good. I didn't want to use the same pun twice. Pretty sure that's illegal.
Illegal?
Yeah, dude. I'm going to call somebody out if they use the same pun twice in a row. I hope you do if I do it too.
I'm very guilty of that, so I hope you call me out.
I don't know. You don't make that many puns. And if you do, I don't notice them.
Whenever I cast with Shane, I always make tiny ones, and he hates it every time, so I do it on purpose.
I could just hear Shane going, oh, God. Van, in the meantime, getting caught and killed. Should die. Waiting Rift, able to keep him locked down along with the Ensnare. Now Lumic is on the run. He has used his telekinesis, and he did a good job of it to get himself to safety. He's going to try for the T. Oh, okay, he's dead. I gave him a lot of credit, and the Plasma Field came out at the perfect time, and they almost lost the Courier, too. They didn't even use the shield. It's a very brave play to be making. In the meantime, they're trying to push top with Skylark. The wave is up here. They're trying to cut that wave. Said wave has been cut by the Treants, but the Tier 2 is still getting pushed in a little bit. But now it's gone, and now the wave is gone, and now it's backdoor protected in a few seconds.
Yep, gone into full rat mode. Figure on cutting waves, Anti-Mage just farming the jungle. So the nice thing is that Anti-Mage never has to really show in a lane to farm. And because of that, it's really difficult for clutch gamers to track him, actually. They finally catch vision of him there, but he can farm anywhere in the map, off map, in the jungle, right? Then it becomes super difficult to catch them unless they already have wards there, because Furion's pushing waves, Leshrack's pushing waves, even Ruby's pushing waves.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job. But this game might go for a really long time, you know, and I think that does favor Execration, but I don't know. We'll see. And I said this, you know, look at the Nando net worth. They're all vying for the third place spot behind Carl's Nature's Prophet. And actually, there's a very slight advantage for clutch gamers because Afromoosh is more farmed than Van on the Sand King.
Yep, that's going to be the big thing, right? Keeper of the Light, if you can get that Aghanim Scepter during the daytime, that's when you can just walk up to the high ground and just keep blasting, healing your creep wave, healing your heroes, and take the tower, because they need to be able to force Execration to
Good
to
split
fight.
Earth. Orchid comes out at the perfect time, but the Soulburn might still kill him. It's going to. Oh, unbelievable. And now Yoel's going to try to fight this. They've got a Burrow Strike coming out. Yoel, I don't know if that's the play. They had the Dream Coil. They actually are turning it around. It might be enough damage. Faded is in there. They're going to get 3 kills. Just 2 for now, but Van's going to get caught by an Illusion Orb or something. He's going to blink and try for the TP. There's no way. He got caught by the wave. If the wave doesn't come at that time, he probably survives. Now, Afromoosh getting jumped on by Nando, and they should have an Orchid. They don't even need it. The Mana Void comes out from the AM. So it's a 3-for-3 trade across the map. The gold advantage does go the way of the Radiant team. They actually got a lot. 800 gold on this Razor for that engagement.
My goodness. Things are happening, Mott.
Yeah, they really are. I love when things happen in Dota games.
Me too.
It's pretty great.
Although Mott, Furion and Anti-Mage, they're designed to make things that not happen.
It's very true, and I was really worried that was going to be the case this game.
Yep, that's why a lot of people don't like them.
You know, it's better than watching a core Naga Siren. She's probably just as bad.
Oh, okay, that's true, actually.
See, that was the reasoning that I was trying to think of. Earlier, when you asked me why I didn't like her, and I just made up some bullshit, that was it in a nutshell.
Okay, that's fair. At least the Anti-Mage kind of has the, I like when he Mana Voids a hero and everyone dies. That's pretty cool. Naga Siren on the core roll doesn't really have that effect. It's like, oh, there's the Song of the Siren, and they're gone.
That's why people hated TI2 so much. Or was it TI3? I can't remember which one it was. I think it was TI2 where it was carry.
Yeah.
And
that was back before people built Radiance on Naga. Believe it or not, it was all about the Lincoln Sphere.
Oh, yeah, she went like diffuse the Lincolns or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be pretty rare. Every time at TI2. Boo! I think it even happened at TI3 too. But not as much. I don't know why I can see the good game well played for allies. Oh, it's a chat wheel. Of course I can see it. Wait. Now I'm second-guessing myself. Can you see allies chat wheel, like the allies one?
Yes.
Okay. I really confused myself for a moment.
That's okay.
I gotta keep myself in check.
All right, Mont, guess what's happening now?
What's happening?
Besides farming.
Yeah, what's happening besides farming?
Clutch gamers keep the light 100 gold away from Aghanim Scepter, and it's also 1 minute away from daytime. That means it could potentially be go time.
They need to keep all of the waves pushed out. If they go for a push or if they go for a Roche play, you know, there's always that threat of the AM and the Nature's Prophet taking a building pretty quickly. They've found Ajit, although more like Grimm's has been found by Ajit. And that is a dead Leshrac probably, and that's his Bloodstone that he just bought, now gone. And Lumi cannot jaunt away. And what was probably the most aggressive play that they could have made, they run right here. The frickin' AM was here. The next closest person was over here. So, yeah, I don't know if that was the right call.
Madness.
More like clowniness.
Yep, throwing their bodies away.
You know, and
it's
just the Bloodstone being killed that's pretty rough.
Oh, you're right. Well, Shrek has a Bloodstone. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. So, now they're going to chase Van down, too. Ajit's just running in, but I don't think he can get the kill with that Dream Coil. And they need a Burrow Strike, but nah, he's fine. Speaking of Lincoln Sphere, he's trying to go for one.
Okay, it's very nice.
So, again, it is Coddleag's time, and it is about to be Tay time in now 1 second. So what's the play that you make as Execration? You don't want to fight into Coddleag's.
They're already doing it, right? They're smoked up top. Furigon's pushing the wave in. Anti-Mage is farming mid. They're playing in 2 out of the 3 lanes, just dodging clutch gamers. But, of course, with the recall up, Puck's going to get caught.
That was a great scan with the exception of the fact that he walked under a ward. They actually scanned them over here when they were walking up to the high ground. But he didn't think they would have vision here. So he walks in and he tries to get to the trees, but it doesn't work out.
Yep, he's trying to clear the wave and then have Coddle recall him to come back and just continue the push down bottom. But now they have to defend.
Yeah, there's no way this is going to be nearly as fast as a push. They're actually going to back up. The Nature's Prophet is going to TP. He'll have it back in 16 seconds, but Lumic's dead. So that was... They kind of jumped the gun there, I think, TPing the Nature's Prophet away. They could have stayed and maybe fought. Although fighting into that team is pretty rough. So yeah, it's probably better they just back, actually.
Yep, they have no intentions of fighting until Anti-Mage is miles above everyone else in the game, so... Just more time to dodge. They're trying to burn through the daytime.
Yeah, and he is top of the net worth now. Van's got to die, unless he can force himself. Nah, he's dead. Mana Leak.
Vampires, Mont. All of the dire vampires.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean by that? I'm confused.
They hate daytime.
Oh, okay. That took
and
me
they
a
suck
bit
blood.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I'm not sure how that happens, but... Well, they have a BKB now on the Nature's Prophet. They have Basher done on the AM, who's trying to kill Yol, and he might do it. And he's going to back up. My god, the plus 400 blink range. I can't even see where he blinks when he does it. Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. I thought somebody was dead. Can you... Oh my god, he literally blinks a full screen away from me.
Yep, crazy. Alright, 2 minutes of daytime, right? Clutch gamers, they want to keep on pressuring, taking towers, using the heal to their advantage, but Ajit down bottom should be okay. Blink daggers on CD, but he can use himself.
Here comes Aframoosh, as well as the Puck. Yeah, he's fine. They need Abyssal. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're going to take a fight. And Lumic, they get off a nice split earth. Skylark has GA, they have Song and Repel. And they will find the Radiant Courier. The gem was on that Courier, by the way. I don't know if they actually got the gem. I'm trying to fight this fight instead. Skylark gets off the Purification. They need another stun. They need some more damage. They have the Nature's Wrath. Not enough. They have no survivability on this Omni Knight. He's going to fall. And did they get the... They got the Radiant Courier, but they got the AM bottom, which is very big.
Yep.
And the gem is on the Keeper Light. So the Courier died on the way out, I guess, instead
Okay, so they still have the jump.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty, 1 minute of daytime left. You can probably just run around the map, counter some wards. Maybe you can recall somebody to try to gank up Carl, since he did use his BKB in that engagement mid.
It's, yeah, he has it in 25 seconds. They thought about it, I think, if they hit the Illuminate. They need, like, the Razor in order to kill him, I think. They are recalling. Lumic might be dead. He's got to get mana leech.
Stunned up.
He stole the spell, or excuse me, the Illuminate, but that's a little too far up for him to be playing, given the circumstances. And Carl might be dead. Nah, he's fine. He didn't have a disable. But now they can start pushing in. There's no Rubik for 35. Of course, they can buy back. Grims is going to have to split push, but they can stop this pretty quickly. The ward will scout out Skylark being up here, so now he needs to run. And he does have a TP. Luckily, he just had enough mana for it, too, plus he had the Bloodstone regen. Ajit comes in with the Illusion Orb, but he's too late to the party, so actually pretty good stuff that they didn't, for Execration, that they weren't able to push high ground there or do anything with that period of time, but the AM was back up, so.
Yep, and it also lines up with nighttime, so the Dire team Execration they're in full farm mode,
Yeah,
time
really
to slay those creeps real well.
Nando needs this BKB to survive any gank attempts. He has that. There's no way he dies. You know, it's just not going to... Unless they even snare. That's really the only way. But even that, they won't have enough damage, I don't think. So, yeah.
God, the Arcane Rune on the Anti-Mage is pretty ridiculous. 2.5 second blink.
Yeah, he's all over the place. Edict's going to come after Grims. It is level 4. You maxed it, by the way. I guess you only get a certain amount of points in Split Earth, and then you max the Edict, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Dire are playing their game pretty well. They have lost all of their outer towers, so I would say it's a good job from Clutch Gamers to get the tower advantage that they do currently have against this team. Now, really, the issue is pushing high ground. And I'm not sure what you get to make it easier for Radiant.
Aghanim Scepter on the Razor.
Yeah.
With the Coddle's Daytime.
That's the item. That is 100% the item. You're absolutely right about that. Because you just sit there. And if you can get an Aegis too, it's even better. You know, so you don't have to worry about dying. You just hit your R button.
Exactly. Up top, Skylark might get caught.
The Sprout actually kind of keeps him alive.
He's so tanky.
He's actually super fast too. Bash hit does come out. He has to GA. The team is coming. Sprout comes out. They need a Split Earth. The Mana Void comes in. VT faded. Gets off the BKB. And Nando is dead. Epicenter might kill Skylark. It does. And it's a nice pickup. But he's alone. And they're going to lose him and maybe the Rubik as well. Although the Rubik does get forced to the low ground. I'd say not worth it considering they lose their Anti-Mage. And they've got another kill. I thought Lumic was going to get out, but it just got canceled. The Yule Scepter was there in the perfect time. And AM dead for 60, which means that this should be some objective. Whether it's Roche or a tower, I'm not sure.
Nando's an insane mod. Blinking into the darkness like that as the troop roll in for Clutch Gamers. Cost him his life, and yeah, that should definitely either be Roshan or some tier 3 tower damage. I prefer Roshan because in a minute and a half, it lines up with daytime. That's go time.
I'm not sure why they're not putting more. I guess they still have 40 seconds without the AM, but and I know they don't have the best rushing lineup, but I feel like they should be heading in that direction.
Yeah, I think they're just prioritizing the pushing since they have the double siege creeps mid lane, but still.
They're not going to be able to get a tier 3 out of this.
Yep.
Grims might get caught. Nah, I think he's fine. Oh, they missed the coil on Van. And the axe is now done, so maybe they can get something done with it. Not that much damage. Maybe a glyph. AM's going to be alive in 12 seconds. Maybe they feel strong enough that they can just push with this with the daytime coming back every 50 seconds. I don't know if that's the case, though.
Looks like quite a big mistake. They definitely could have taken Roshan pretty much for free. But yeah, it's still go time. We have the Aghanim's Razor Ultimate and daytime in 30 seconds. BKB used. And
now the ulti comes out, and Van getting run down. But he can't get the kill. That is BKB. Eye of the Storm, not a big deal to use that. It's a pretty short cooldown. But the BKB being used... Yeah, they definitely could have just backed to Roche after they killed the Anti-Mage. And that would have given them a bit more to work with. They would have gotten at least something out of that. Instead, they pushed the waves in, which they could have done with another... Like, they could have just had the puck do it or something.
Right. They just need to play around their strengths, right? Coddle daytime, it's as simple as just go. Right, you have the heal from Illuminate and the unobstructed vision, so team fights are going to be super, super easy, but I guess they could do it now, but it would have just been a bit more efficient, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, Mott.
And maybe they were really thinking about waiting for daytime to do something. They could try for a kill with Aframoosh. He's going to get good vision onto the AM.
Nope, just trailing him, watching where he goes.
Mana Leak. Nando jumps. He needs to run. Luckily, it doesn't look like they have the catch to find him. Even with the Mana Leak.
God, the blink cooldown is just so short.
Oh, he's in the trees. Alright, let's see if I can... Alright, I actually was able to find him this time. Bottom. BKB. Carl get a man fight. They've got the Hex. This is Skylark. He's going to get Orchided. They have the Fade Bolt. This might not be enough damage. It's going to be enough. Actually, it was. The Silburn came out. They just had enough. And as tanky as the Omni Knight is, they finally get the kill. And he's now dead for 70 seconds. And he's realizing he needs a BKB against this Orchid.
Yep, Hex and Orchid. Tons of damage for the Furion now. Hitting for 300 a click, and he also has some nice combat talents as well. 40 attack speed, plus 30 damage, plus 10 armor.
Yeah, but this Bloodthorn is where it gets really good, you know, because that Bloodthorn, you get a lot more damage. They're going to jump in Ajit. He's got the Dream Coil. They found Van. The Waiting Rift's good. Hex, though, they're going to try to turn this Orchid. Nah, they're TPing away. I think they could fight this. Nah, they don't want to. I thought they might have been able to go, but it's tricky. Mana Leak comes out into Van. He actually leads them right to Lumic and crew. They're lucky they didn't lose him. But now the top lane is getting pushed. They'll have to TP back and defend this tower. But Nando's not trying to put too much pressure. He wants to buy his BKB.
Yep, so now if there ever is a fight, Nando is... He's basically ready, right? With the Basher, BKB, Manta style. Pretty strong in fights. Yeah, this is more daytime being wasted from Clutch Gamers. I feel like all they need to really do is do Roshan, but I guess they are scared because Anti-Mage does have items now. You know, he's not just a mobile melee creep farming away. Now he's powerful.
Yeah, now he can actually get kills. Abyssal, the next choice, will really keep him even tankier and, of course, give you some more damage to work with then. The Butterfly is probably next on the list or something along those lines. And at that point, you are just ownage. So for the next 20 minutes or so, fighting into Nando is going to be a chore, you know, unless you can find the right initiation. But they're going to do Roche. There's no vision for the die around this Roche pit. The pings come out, but that's from the Radiant team for Clutch Gamers. And this is a bit more dangerous than if they did it earlier, but they're going to be fine.
Yep, I keep harping on the Roche mod, but look at how long it is. Oh my, 1 minute, right? They're going to get this Aegis. It's going to be pretty much just for the nighttime, and then it's going to time out as it turns daytime again.
Yeah.
I guess they do have under a minute to just run at this tier 3 tower mid lane to try to apply some pressure, but
now you're doing it into the BKB of the AM, which like I don't want to harp on it either, but it's interesting the choice they made.
Yep, you really want these timings to line up because you want to be at your strongest possible, you know. You want to be at your peak.
Carl's gonna have to BKB. He still might get run down. Eye of the Storm. Did he use it? He did. And they need to really push down, use the Eye of the Storm. It's going to be halfway done by the time they get up to the high ground. Then Nature's Wrath. They'll have to wait another 46 seconds, and that's going to be nighttime. They found the Ensnared defeated. He does have BKB. The Glyph comes out. Eye of the Storm down in about 5 seconds or so. Good lift onto Skylark, but where's the follow-up? They get off the Split Earth. They're going to get off the Burrow, but he has a Hooded Defiance, and he almost has a full BKB. Grims is going to get chased down. The Link stealing all of his damage. Now 280 gone. Watch the slaps coming in from Faden. Watch how much damage he does. This thing's going to get crushed. They're going to lose 2 supports, and just like that, they might have won the game, or at least gotten a full set of racks out of this. That was, I didn't think that was going to work out, but it certainly did. They're going to pop the Epi. They've got the Bro Strict. The Fated pops the BKB. Van is going to die. Nando's going to have to essentially 2v5 this fight. Skylark's going to survive, though. He gets glimmered up. That's the 10-second BKB done. It doesn't do a single thing. Plus, he lost 113 damage from the Static Link. And Eye of the Storm is back up. So, my God.
Oh, boy. Round 2.
Yeah.
All right, Mon, apparently, they didn't even need daytime to take the fight.
I have never been more wrong about something, I feel like. Because they literally just crushed that fight without needing nighttime or daytime or really most of the Eye of the Storm. Really, all they needed was to kill both supports, and then there was nothing for Execration to do. The Nature's Prophet wasn't in the fight until very later on into the engagement, and Nando wasn't there for 90% of it. They are all 2 sets of racks down, which means it's not over, especially with a Nature's Prophet and an AM, but my God, does it feel pretty rough. Carlos is going to BKB and try to TP the Static Link, taking away all of his damage, but he's able to get out in time. Yeah, I mean, this is a really good, like, split-pushing team, but when you're down 2 sets of racks, it feels pretty hard, right?
Yep, and at some point you have to be able to fight your enemy, right? You're usually split-pushing to get to that key item that lets you fight. Usually it's a BKB after, you know, maybe a couple items like a farming tool, like a Battle Fury, for example, but I don't see what's going to let them fight. Butterfly Anti-Mage is really nice, but still, look at how fat this Omni is. BKB, Radiant, Sanjanyasha, FaZe. This guy's not dying in fights.
No.
Razor, same thing. He's not dying in fights. He's super fat. Then you have a Puck.
I mean...
And then, of course, if things go wrong, you have Omni Knight. I mean, not Omni Knight. Nagasari.
They need a Nullifier. They actually have one in the Prophet. Awesome, Arsart. Good stuff. They're in actually way too deep. The stun hits onto the Lumic. The Grimm's Leshrac is still stunned. He's front R2. He's still a coil, but he's still dead anyway. Epicenter, but the BKB at the perfect time from Fated. This fight is not going well. And there's going to lose 3 heroes. Nando, I don't know what he was doing, but he was on the back end of that fight the entire time. He got a Mana Void off. They had the Nullifier used, but Carl, if he dies here, that's game. He doesn't have buyback. It might be game anyway.
Yep, the line has been drawn, Mott. It's go time.
Yeah, they're like, go mid to bottom. Got it. Easy. AM's doing his best to keep the waves pushed out. I'm never really a big fan of these types of drafts, you know, especially because they picked like the AM and the Nature's Prophet really early.
It's too all-in on the split push, right? Nature's Prophet, you're talking about, even when he picks up items, he doesn't feel like he's, you know, that impactful in team fights, and it's true. I mean, look at his items. They're really good items and everything, but he still can't fight.
Yeah, I mean, they're really relying heavily on their supports and their Sand King. AM's not doing anything. He's going to get linked. That's the end of his involvement in the fight. They found, however, Skylark, but he is Aegis. I don't really think he cares if he dies here. He's running down Grims anyway. He's going to kill Grims. Carl has to TP out with his BKB, and he actually does make it, but Lumic's not going to be so lucky. Ajit has no Ags, but he doesn't need it as he Dagons down the poor Rubik, who dies pretty much instantly. Van's going to get mana leaked. This is going to be a dead Sand King as he stuns himself with Lotus Orb. And Skylark's Aegis is gone, but essentially the game should end here in the next few moments. Carl keeps getting forced. They need the waves to come in, but once they do, they have Eye of the Storm, and that's going to do it. And they'll probably just take the game here. Or not. That was an insane mana void. Okay, I spoke too soon. Song comes out, but it's too late. They can't save the Razor. Good mana void. Damn, good job. Keeps them in the game for a little bit longer, but again, they are down Mega Creep, so... I mean...
Carl's looking for more, double damage.
They have the top 2 net worth, and they really cannot fight. It's a very scary
Carl has
prospect.
The no TP cooldown talent, so he's just chasing Skylark.
Abyssal, Nullifier. Finally, they get the kill. That's a gem. If only they could find those kills earlier on into the game, you know, even like 5 minutes ago, and they would have been in it.
Yeah, back when they still had a base.
Yeah, exactly. Now they do not, and they're holding on barely, you know. Well, it's going to be... I don't know. I mean... Maybe they somehow pull this back miraculously. Like, they should be able to win late game now that they have Nullifier. Like, well, I mean, late game in the sense that if they still had a base, they had a 5-on-5 team fight, and they get the right initiation, they could still win. But,
yep, that's the problem, right? Not having a base.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they have all of the items they need on the 2 big heroes that they have. They just don't have the room to work with anymore.
Yep, Anti-Mage has his Butterfly, so he is basically 6-slotted. But it still doesn't look that scary, does it?
No. If they can get GA off, they're fine. If they don't get GA off, it might be a problem.
There's a lot of tools to reset team fights on the side of Clutch Gamers. 2 Force Staffs, a Glimmer Cape, Omni Knight, of course, with the Guardian Angel.
They're going to TP back in. Lumic went in. That was a very miscommunication there. They might be fine anyway.
Yeah. Clutch Gamers, lots of ways to reset fights. Anti-Mage blinks in, then someone's going to get forced, or, you know, one of their many other abilities to assist and reset, and he's probably going to walk around doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like he's been doing all game.
It's true. His kill involvement is 2, 3, and 3. He's been involved in 5 of his team's 21 kills. 5 of them. All right? That's not a lot. I don't, you know, I'm not great at math, but I can tell you that's not a very big amount. In fact, it's like 25%, or not even that, 20% or something like that. All right, that was an awful display of math, and I'm really sorry, everybody, that I had to deal with it, but... You will Scepter onto Van. He's going to have to Burrow Strike away. Jesus, NA math. Seriously, I can't believe I just did that. Anyway. Lumic is almost going to have Axe. If he can steal the Eye of the Storm every fight, that's pretty big. Nando's going to get linked. How much damage did he lose? 35, but the more important thing is that he has no mana now. He didn't pop the BKB against the mana leak. Elsewhere, Carl's trying to get out, but the Yule Scepter's there for Ajit. And Carl might be dead. He has to BKB TP. They have an ensnare, probably. Yeah, they're not going to use it, though. Naga's not there in time anyways. There's only a 5k lead right now, Brax. Think about that. You are ahead Mega Creeps. Not only that, but you still have Tier 2 towers. You still have Roche that you could take. And you're only up 5k. But it just feels like the items, like the 5k lead is probably a lot bigger than it actually is, you know?
It's pretty crazy, right? A lot of these heroes have a bunch of defensive items like Sand King, Lesh, and Rubik. They don't do much, right? They're watching the show. You got these two big boxers in the Nature's Prophet and Anti-Mage, and they're kicking ass. They're doing everything they can, and then they've just got 3 fans on the team watching.
Go
That's what it feels
team!
like. Feels
You
like
guys
they
are
can't
great.
contribute too much to the fight. They're like 3 big support heroes.
Yeah, and they just get by the way, refresher, are you ready for the hurricane? Are you ready for the hurricane, Brax?
Yes.
Well, it's coming.
Hurricane Razor.
Exactly. The real hurricane is when he has a Shiva's guard and he pops the double Eye of the Storm and Shiva's at the same time. It literally looks like you're in the eye of a hurricane, or outside the eye of a hurricane.
Well, that's why it's called the Eye of the Storm.
Oh, you're right. You're so right, Brax.
I'm telling you, everything makes logical sense in Dota.
You know, I'm sure you just made some lore writer really happy.
Nice.
Alright, so we have maybe the last fight of the game, depending on how this is approached by Execration. I'm not even sure, like, Nando is actually having trouble just dealing with the mana leak, you know, let alone the static link. As soon as he blinks in, he gets linked, right? And you lose at least 50 damage because the link takes so much of it that quickly.
Yeah.
So I suppose you get the Ags, maybe, or like a Lincolns or something, but then you have to put away your Treads or something like that. I don't know.
Yep, he's got no item slot for that at all.
Do you really need Treads that much? Well,
it helps. Alright, what's going on, Mont?
And they're going to try to take a fight. Nature's Wrath does a lot of damage. Naga's dead. AM has jumped onto the... wow, that is a very, very dead Coddle. In fact, they're actually just losing the fight. Fated goes for the double Eye of the Storm, but it's not really actually doing that much. They will still find the Leshrac. Nando might die too, but he has buyback. He's going to have to use it. But Epicenter coming in. Fated is repelled, though. Elusiorb coming back. They really want to finish this game. There's the cheese. No Aegis, no cheese, nothing left with Fated, but the Skylark Omni Knight is back up, which means it's going to be really hard to fight into this team. And as good of a fight as that was for Execration, when you have to buy back in your aim, you're in a really rough position.
God, the double Eye of the Storm does so much damage. AM had minus 40 armor in that fight, and he got clicked once and just died.
Yeah.
Insane.
And I don't know how you deal with that. They're going to get the Yules. They have the Burrow Strike counter initiation. They don't find it. The static link is actually avoided. That's pretty good news. Can they chase, though? I don't think Nando wants to. I think he's too busy dealing with the other lanes. And Clutch Gamers will have to back off for now, but they did accomplish a lot, getting the AM buyback.
Yep, all we need to do is wait for the refresher on Razor. And go again. It'll also be daytime when that happens too, so more good news for them.
You know, it almost feels like the aim doesn't do enough damage against the Razor, even when there's no GA, you know, or repel.
He really doesn't. He doesn't at all. And they also have like 4 staffs too. 4 staff, static link, heals from Omni, and potentially Keeper of the Light. He jumps in BKBs, or has to use his BKB, and then he can't kill anyone. And then he just gets mana leaked and pushed around by Coddle the entire fight.
That's why he jumped on Coddle the first time, and he did a really good job getting those 2 kills on him in the Naga Siren. But he needs the Bloodthorn too, and he's going to go for it. And I think he probably puts his Treads away and does that. You definitely need the Battle Fury in this game.
Yep.
But it's going to be a while before he gets to that Bloodthorn. It's a very expensive item. It's actually just ridiculously expensive, but it is a very good item, so it makes sense.
The most expensive item in the game.
Yes. All right. So this is our 3rd game of the day. After this one, we'll be more than halfway through. But this has still been a pretty good game. A completely different game than the one we saw last time around with TnC versus the Prime, which was like super action-packed, super back and forth. And not to say this one hasn't been action-packed. It has. It's just not sort of the same type of action. All right. Ag's done for the puck. And at some point, Roche will be back up. They could probably go for that if they want to play it really safe. I mean, there's no reason not to, I guess, for Clutch Gamers. Unless they just want to go now that it's daytime, which I also think would be a very good idea. But Roche is going to probably be the main sticking point for this team.
Yep, you don't want to throw Mont.
I mean, they just need 1 Eye of the Storm for this tier 4, and maybe they get Roche with it.
Now my enemies pay.
You know what Carl can do? He can backpack a Shadow Blade, use it, TP, or like TP, use it and look for a puck gank on the side lanes because he has a Lincoln Spear. that's really difficult. Oh, Song up top.
Yeah, they're ready to
Is
go.
Carl dead? Nope, they're just hitting the base mod with double Eye of the Storm.
I had to flip for that. There's the double Eye of the Storm coming out. Aghanim Scepter. Carl didn't think he had it. Now he's stunned and he's dead and he has no buyback. And that should be it. AM is in, but they cannot fight into Skylark. The GA comes out. No buyback on the Nature's Prophet. That's 30,000 of your team's net worth gone. And there it is. GG's called. And so the split push draft, a good idea in theory. In practice, not so much.
Yep. They were split pushing the entire game, but it felt like they were never like going to get to a point where it could have made a difference, right? Skylark as a Omni Knight and Afromoon from the Caudal, they bullied top lane the entire game. And even though they didn't shut down the AM too much in terms of farm, they also got a ton out of it.
Yeah. At AM, as farmed as he and the Nature's Prophet were, not nearly enough in order to win this game, and that is going to do it for the first game. 714 GPM for the Anti-Mage, of course 759 for the Puck because he has the talent. That'll be the stat line for the two big heroes in this game. Of course, the Razor had another good look at it, which was 631 for him, so not much else to say about this first game. Not the best draft necessarily for Execration. Really good play from Clutch Gamers. They had some great heroes, the Keeper of Light and the Omni Knight. So game 2 right around the corner, and we'll see what's happening on the other streams as well with the TnC games. So you can check that out. It's on EN2 with Zyrie and Trent. So for now, we'll take a break. We'll jump into game 2. We'll see you guys soon.
Radiant team pick.
All right, everybody. We are back in with our last game of the day. That is right. It's Clutch Gamers versus Execration, game number 2. And the reason it's our last game of the day is for something rather important. I'd like to give a big congratulations to TnC for making it on through to the China Dota2 Supermajor. They did it by beating Geek Fam in the previous game on the other stream. They only lost one game. They could still lose this next game that they're going to be playing in the other stream, but I don't think it really matters one way or the other. Fnatic, they could only tie them in points, and because TnC have the head-to-head, that means the tiebreaker is not going to be valid. So, Clutch Gamers versus Execration in a game that does not matter, and there is nothing on the line here for either of these teams other than pride. We'll see what happens, and I really, did not like the draft in the last game, Brax. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Yep. You have the split-pushing Anti-Mage and Furion with no win condition, right? At no point in that game, even with a 6-slotted Furion and a 6-slotted Anti-Mage, were you going to be able to team fight that lineup. And, yeah, that's exactly what happened. But here, Execration versus Clutch Gamers. Faceless Void, Ancient Apparition, first picks.
I like this a lot more than I liked the last game. This already feels like a better draft. I guess the Void always gives you a chance, regardless of what ends up happening. Like, instead of having an AM and a Nature's Prophet that really, like, even if they get an amazing Burrow Strike, that wouldn't go that well for Execration. Now they have a Chronosphere to kind of rely on, if that makes any sense. Like, it's just a better team fighting ability. It gives you a better chance.
Right. With Anti-Mage, you're blinking into right clicks, right? With Faceless Void, you have the Chronosphere to play around. It's a much stronger team fighter for sure. But
Yeah.
Clutch Gamers pick up the Vengeful Spirit to help reset whoever gets chronoed. Pretty decent counter, especially if you have a nice tanky frontline hero like the Medusa, for example. That is a classic combo up against the Faceless Void. Pretty darn good one, too.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. Just because also you have the Vengeance Aura, you buff up the Medusa with Wave of Terror as well, so you get a bit more damage done. But we'll see if that's going to be the case. Execration, they're looking for... This could be an off-lane Void, and then they grab the mid and the safe lane. They could grab another carry kind of hero for Carl in the mid lane, which, Tigger would have been nice, but that's been taken out. I don't know. What combos well with this team is the question I'm having. And they pick up the Naga as their other support.
Okay, Naga Sar, just fantastic all-around hero. I would say the only time Naga really runs into issues is when... Never. She has something to do at every stage of the game. On. Gotcha.
You slammed me there. I wasn't expecting it. Yeah, she's probably pretty good in this game.
She feels like she can do it all, right? She has an objective at every stage of the game. Early game, she dominates and wins these difficult lanes. Mid game, she sets up these fantastic team fights or resets them. Late game, pushes out the waves. Gets vision with illusions, and in some games you can even transition with the Radiance into that late game carry. Just overall, very powerful.
She is going to be pretty strong this game. I just like, and Snare is so good, song is so good. I've talked it up multiple times. Now the Darkseer comes out, which was picked yesterday. I can't remember for who. I remember thinking this is weird. Might have been Universe, actually, for Fnatic. I think it was.
Yes, it was.
They won that game as far as I remember. It worked out. Iron Shell plus like Sladar is pretty strong, but I don't think they're going to go that route. They could still pick up Sladar, but they would have Venge, Sladar, Sand King, so Sand King would have to be the off... Or, no, that wouldn't work. Never mind, sorry. But I guess they have the Sand King, so it works just as well.
Yep. The big issue that a lot of players have with Darkseer is, like, you know, you can do pretty well in some lanes, and in some lanes you can crush, especially with the strong melee support here, like the Sand King, for example. But you don't really transition that well into later parts of the game. Vacuum, it's very difficult to actually get it off reliably, and it has such a long cooldown. It might as well be his ultimate at this point, but OD comes out from Execration. This hero is very strong. I think this is one of the best heroes in Dota.
I agree completely.
You know, you'd think he's weak against BKBs, but you can just astral yourself, blink out. He always builds the blink Hurricane Pike BKB. Like, he's not the easiest hero to lock down at all.
Yeah.
And you can just wait those BKBs out, or just initiate yourself with the blink Hex.
I think you do, when you are playing against like heroes that get the BKB, I think you have to be careful with how you use the Astral, like if you use it on a support instead of on yourself, if you get caught in a bad position. I think that's a big thing, and it's not something that people talk about a lot. You're just making sure you use your abilities sparingly, I suppose. But I agree with you, he's probably one of the strongest heroes in Dota currently. He's great in both the safe lane and in the mid lane. He has a wide variety of skill builds, Jesus. But Sniper does do pretty well against OD, I'll say. It's a pretty good matchup.
Yep. Matchup and lane counter, but OD, this hero is he's a hero that can deal with counters in some games, you know? Get enough farm on this guy and he's still going to be throwing bombs.
He is indeed a bomb thrower. Spirit bombs coming out from OD.
That's right, he channels that spiritual energy.
Exactly, that's the flavor text for the OD's Arcane Orb, so... I kind of like Sniper against OD, but like now you have a Darkseer and Sniper together, and I'm not sure how I see this working. Like, you like Iron Shell on a melee hero. If you have a melee hero like a PA that can jump on OD, it would be pretty great. But now you have like Sniper who never wants to have Iron Shell on him, and it's a weird combination of heroes.
It is weird. They don't really complement each other too well, but of course Darkseer can always play with the Sand King, right? And then they have Sniper in the back lines just firing away.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. That makes a good point. The big issue I have with Darkseer is Vacuum. You were talking about it. What if they made it magic immunity piercing or something? Would it be too strong?
I think so. Maybe that could be like a 25 talent or something.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick, actually, because then he'd have a real late game, because at the moment, he owns in the early game with the Helm of the Dominator, or gets completely countered in lane by like an Oracle or something, and then just farms and doesn't really, you know, destroy lanes or anything like that. But yeah, that would be pretty sweet. You know, then you could reliably land things like the Sand King combo. But then think of it this way: if it's going through Magic Immunity, that means you're just backing together Magic Immune heroes for what? What goes through Magic Immunity as an AoE stun? Like nothing.
Your
right?
wall would need to pierce too.
Well, it's not even that. Like Sand King stun, right? That's usually your combo.
Exactly.
Or like your starter crush. Well, what's the point of AoE vacuuming these heroes if you know, your follow up to the vacuum doesn't?
If you had an axe with call.
Okay.
You know, there are some combinations, I'm sure.
There are, but they don't play well together, right? Axe with Darkseer on the same team. Pretty
What
strange.
about Void? I mean, I'm just throwing whatever I can at the wall here and hoping it sticks.
Yeah, no, keep doing it. I mean, Void's kind of cool, but it's already such a large AoE. Usually don't need that. They're pretty much like the same AoE.
Well, I will say, I think Darkseer needs something, and he's been getting nerfed steadily for a long time. I still think he's not where he needs to be. He's probably been the hero that's out of the meta. He's been out of the meta for the longest. Other than the heroes like Huskar and Broodmother, Bloodseeker, who aren't picked that often. And even Bloodseeker was in the meta before Darkseer was pretty recently.
Oh god, what a Broodmother game mod.
Yeah, this is pretty brutal, actually. And it's going to be a mid-brood, too. And
this is a nightmare for Sniper or Lone Druid.
Yeah, exactly. This Sniper is going to get Shrek'd. But Faded is playing the Sniper, so they're going to do the Lone Druid. But that's probably just as bad. Maybe a little better, because you have the Bear.
I mean, no matter which hero goes mid up against this Broodmother, it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad. Ah, Jesus Christ. Why do I keep drinking the water down here?
Come on, Mott. Don't drink the water.
Anyway,
10 seconds remaining.
the Carl Broodmother is how we'll end this game in this series. Well, we'll start the game this way. We'll end the series this way with the Broodmother. I don't know how exactly it's going to end, but we're going to find out pretty quickly. It is the Lone Druid played by Ajit, probably in the mid lane, the Faded Sniper probably in the safe lane, and then some supports and offlaners playing together. I don't know. Looking at this draft, Execration feel like they have the better draft, in my opinion.
Yep, they're in the driver's seat with the Broodmother, right? It's up to Clutch Gamers to dodge or adapt their lanes in some way to not get run over by this hero. They could put Darkseer in the mid up against the Broodmother if that is where Broodmother ends up in the first place. But, you know, the spiders, they have like 50% magic resistance. They don't actually die to the Iron Shell. And they heal on the webs too, so...
It's a lot better than it used to be.
Farm. Yep.
Yeah,
They made a lot of these lane counter matchups super, super strong for the Broodmother. And I like that, honestly. It's like the hero has a certain niche, and now it's just even more focused in on that.
Yeah, I agree. You got to really have that niche to work with. Like every good hero, every good hero in the game has that like one good thing they can focus on. And now Broodmother kind of has that niche where she could just destroy heroes in the mid lane and own them with Spiderlings. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'd be very surprised to see if Clutch Gamers could win this one. I think Clutch Gamers had a really good chance last game because, of course, they had a better draft, and that's how it ended up working. I'm not sure it's going to be the same case this time around. You have a Naga, you have a Void, you have an AA, you have all of these super strong heroes. And this game's going to have to go pretty late if Clutch are going to take it. Like, I mean, super late even, I think.
Nice long game, Mont. My favorite.
Oh, great.
We've had so many long games tonight.
Yeah. The Prime game was great. That was a great long game. It didn't feel long, even with the pauses. It was the perfect length because it was so back and forth. You know, the last game just felt like it was 40 minutes of Clutch Gamers winning the game.
Right, the Prime TnC game, it didn't feel like it was stretched on at all, right? It just felt like it was just an epic game.
I think I noticed that too. I think when it got to the 65-minute mark, and I was like, this game is not that long. But it you know, it is, but obviously it didn't work out that way. Nando is going to get run at by the Lone Druid, but all right. Lumic actually got the one rune. Okay, did they? So Yol got one, Aji gets one, Lumic gets one, Van gets one, so they both get two. I thought because Lumic got the one over here, that they might not have that they might have gotten three, but that's not the case.
Alrighty, we have the Darkseer in the mid lane up against Carl's Broodmother, as expected. But you know, it's a lane that Brood likes to build the pressure. The hero she's standing in front of, right? At some point, you're gonna get that massive Spiderling army and just dive one of these ranged single target heroes like the Sniper or Lone Druid. But with a lane matchup like this, even though your spiders don't die to the Iron Shell right away, you can shell one of the spiders, and then it's really annoying for Broodmother to micro that right away.
Yeah.
You have to select it in the masses. So
I do think that Carl can do a lot of damage to Skylark, and Carl... The thing is, though, he'll have to run into the Iron Shell Skylark, which is kind of tricky, but Carl's going to find CS. They're both going to get CS, you know.
Yep, they'll both farm, and then eventually Carl's going to farm more than Skylark will because he can farm the jungle while farming the lane.
Yeah, exactly. And you can do it aggressively, too. Oh, this bear is doing quite the job. He's already pulled 2 waves. But it means that it's going to be really delayed. Is he going to pull a third one? No, he already sent the bear back. It's going to be triple wave. This is a triple wave. However, oh, no, he blocked the hard camp. So he could pull the small camp, but that's only going to compound the issue further. They pinged it.
Yep.
They're going to try it anyway. He wants to pull just the one wave. He might actually... No, he actually got it. But again, there's no hard camp. Although it's about to respawn. They need to block it with the bear. He's not going to, though.
That would have been really nice if he did, but still, he'll get experience, right? And some farm. He got a whole bunch of creeps coming in towards your tower. So the one thing that can happen when this scenario occurs is you can get dove under your tower.
Yeah.
Chemo has a haste rune on Naga's arm with level 2 as well.
Yeah, Riptide and
So you
Snare.
might be able to zone him off. And OD has the orbs too, so you won't get tower aggro. You can just
OD
keep on
is
chucking them in.
also 2 levels ahead of him now. So
Yep.
level
Here
1
it is,
orb.
Chemo with the haste.
Yeah, they're just gonna kill him. They have an ensnare. They can't get it off. He's actually juking nicely. Wow, he had roar. That's I guess not that crazy. Well, after Moose is dead now, probably. If they can't get either of these kills, I would be shocked. And they might not.
Okay, there they go.
They wave. They don't see Ajit. That's pretty depressing that they didn't get that. Oh, that's Yol. But that's still pretty depressing for Execration they didn't get that kill.
Yep, but OD just TP's up, but that's all that money that gets zoned off Ajit's Lone Druid. He gets none of the last hits. He's got 1 last hit.
He got
2.
the experience, though, or at least most of it. He's level 3 now.
Yep, and that definitely helps. Look at how Carl's playing this mid lane now. He's just cutting the wave so he doesn't have to deal with the Ion Shell in lane.
Yeah,
Very smart.
you see a Dark, so you think about him cutting the wave, but he can't do it till later. And now Carl is having a great time, and there's nothing they can do about this.
Yep, and with this setup, he can cut the wave and then extend his webs to like the small, or the medium and the hard camp, and then just keep on farming those as well.
God, this has got to feel so good. This like triangle of camps is so strong to farm, especially if you're doing it aggressively on the opposite side. And like Skylar's gonna run up, but now he just backs up, and then he waits for the Iron Shell.
There it is. The Ion Shell on
there's
the
the
spider.
one. He's got to micro that one spider. He does, yeah, he. Okay, it just
Epic
died.
failure.
He's like, where's the Iron Shell, huh? What's going on?
It's pretty hard to target it on all the spiders.
It did die pretty quickly, those spiders. Oh. I was not expecting that.
Like how I distract you with all the spiders and then
Yeah.
boom, action up top.
This is your fault, Brax.
I do that all the time, actually.
But that's alright.
You know what? I appreciate the little things.
Oh,
They
I
get
know.
me really excited.
I know. Me too, man. And Dota's a game of the little things. It is essentially little things the game.
Little things the game. Skylark
He
might
is,
die mid-lane.
you're not going to distract me from this one. He is definitely dead. Great ensnare into Cold Feet. And really, it was an Invis rune, I think, that he picked up. I'm pretty sure it was, unless it was just a smoke. So actually, it's really just a great Invis rune because Naga hits her W button, then you get the kill, and so it's super easy.
Yep, so I'd say all lanes going fantastic for Execration. Even Faceless Void's 17 last hits in this offlane. That's just what happens when against the safe lane sniper mod.
Yeah, he's having a great time. They're going to have Helm of the Dominator plus the Broodmother. Like,
mid lane.
Oh, and Skylark's dead again. He just died twice in a row. Oh, maybe not, actually. Oh, what? That latched? That's crazy. Okay. Now he has to make the Walk of Shame back. Yeah, he really did become the Ice Cube.
But still, look at his last hits, right? Those are some spider kills right there. Inflated net worth.
Yeah, his net worth is actually not that high. I mean, well, it's right around the Broodmother. It's right where it should be, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
He's actually doing very well net worth wise. Just 2 deaths, no big deal.
Ajit has to go for the TP. He will make it out. Nicely done. They won't spot him. And the Siege Creep and Bear are going to stay up here, but the Bear is going to get slapped by the OD orbs. But it's still pretty tanky, and oh, he did go for the level 2 orb. He didn't go for the Astral. I like that a lot. Because there's really no threat of him dying, right? I don't think, anyway. Although Van might be dead.
Yeah, it's true.
He's fine. Like, even with the Sand King, you know, they would need to space at their stuns pretty decently. And the Lone Druid can't do enough damage anyway to get the kill, I think. Ooh, they got all the Spiderlings, though.
Ooh, yep. All the spiders are gone.
And Carl is in, like, the perfect position. He's got the medallion. I forget, do people go for Helm on this hero? I don't think they do, right?
On Brood, no.
Because it's too tricky, right? Because you're running, I mean, because the webs don't work, correct?
Yep, exactly. If they did, that'd be pretty crazy, but... Yep, can't really use it to its fullest potential. It's usually the medallion into, like, a Desolator or Mask of Madness build. And you just keep on farming agents for the entire game.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's not top net worth. Alright. Come on, guys. That was my fault. I saw it coming and I had to itch my back, so I couldn't change cameras. That's a very lame excuse, I know, but you know what?
At least you're honest, right?
I could feel you judging me from your silence.
Well, I'm not judging with the silence. I'm just like, that was an honest answer, man. I appreciate that.
Okay, well, that's... You recovered. You gave me more hope about myself. Anyway, phase boots for Carl. He doesn't want to go for the no boots strategy. I think that's fair. Skylark is getting run at, or rather is running at Lumik, who's trying to get some solo experience bin, and he actually does. I thought they were going to rotate and try to kill Skylark, but they decided not to. Aframoosh is going to Sandstorm and try to bring out the get the creeps, and he does. He actually gets some of the spider wings, and now Carl's going to run. And they know that this is a stack, so they're going to try to get it with Aframoosh and the Dark Series Iron Shell.
Yep, good stuff. The big thing that Carl hasn't really done is like farmed his own, jungle, right?
Oh. Well, that's just a drive-by magic missile. That could have been a lot more.
Take that.
Haha. He gave it to him. The good old haha.
Yep. In a normal game where he wasn't landing against the Dark Series, we'd see Broodmother at the top of the network.
Alright, I'm not missing this kill.
He's dead. Or is he?
He's not gonna die. Are you kidding? Oh, they...
Can the urn take him down?
The one time... Okay, I did catch the kill. Alright. Faded is going to get a double, probably. Yeah, she's dead. See ya. Oh. I spoke too soon? Nah, he's got take aim.
Maybe he can earn himself again and then TP?
Nope.
Oh, just kidding.
Faded is like, thank you very much. I will take that double kill. And I think he really needs it in this game when he's against a Void OD Broodmother.
Yep, he is the net worth leader, but he doesn't really want to stay bottom lane anymore up against level 6 Faceless Void. They switch up to lane and Ajay goes down there, but he's a very easy kill.
Yeah, until they get the Venge swap, and then it gets harder. Carl might be dead. Aframoosh, they have the dust. Wow, he was ready with that instantly. Carl's still getting chased down, though. Skylar doing a really good job staying on top of him. And now Lumik's dead. I think. Iron Shell, not enough damage, maybe not. Carl does get the kill onto the Sand King. He might die to the tower. He's really close. The Cold Feet does last. They need more damage. They need a Riptide. Oh, but Skylark surges himself to safety. And
they've got the net in too.
They do. He's got another Ensnare. And he's almost uses it, but now he's just dead. God, Ensnare's so good. The range on this ability is freaking dumb. It's way longer than this the rangefinder makes it seem.
Right, because the rangefinder, like, as long as you get him in that area, it can still, finish casting when they're way out.
It's like Fiend's Grip, where you're just a mile away. Whoa, this Nando OD that was aggressive.
This man is extremely aggressive, man. He's insane.
Yeah, I like it, though. I guess he realizes he can't die, and also the fact that the sniper, he doesn't seem like a smart boy. He's okay. He's smarter than the average person, I suppose.
He's wise, right?
Oh my god, look at the intelligence on this lone druid. This is not a smart guy.
Oh, Jesus.
It's pretty rough, actually. Alright. Carl has found Aframoosh, or vice versa, I'm not sure. And Carl is going to lose not actually that many of his broodlings. However, he's going to have to run. He needs to get on the webs and get some HP regen, because his team is not there to help him out.
Skylark has the Dominator now, so that Siege Creep's just going to follow him everywhere and assault the mid tower. This is when it gets so annoying to deal with this Helm of the Dominator item. It's ridiculous.
It's the aura. Oh god, the attack speed for a Siege Creep. Yeah. I know it doesn't seem like much, but
you just can't kill the Siege Creep. Just runs in there with the Iron Shell. You can click it on top of a hero.
It's more HP than this Void has.
Yep.
Yeah, I think 1500 is a little too much. Chrono? Snare, Riptide, Cold Feet, True Form. He's pretty tanky, but he's going to tick down. Good avoidance of the Savage Roar by Lumik. He's going to Song. Hey, just like that. We have successfully gotten a kill. I will now use my R button, but they're going to get EPI'd onto Grims, which I don't think they really care. That's not that bad.
Yep, just a support. No big deal.
It's 3K advantage at 12 minutes. There have been bigger advantages in this tournament so far, but considering the stakes, considering the heroes that they have on the Dire team, I'd say this is a pretty significant lead.
Yep, and Faceless Void has a Helm of the Dominator as well, so Siege creeps, mod. These things are crazy.
Lumic is... I don't know why he's diving him so much. He's got a shrine. Oh, that's why.
Oh, big blast.
That's why. They need another Riptide, though. And they're not even... They're going to trade... Or not even trade, excuse me. They're going to just get the kill on the Naga.
Hey, Mott, have you seen the cooldown on vacuum at the early levels? It's actually an ultimate.
Yeah, that's awful. I know that they nerfed... First of all, look at the list of changes they made to vacuum in 7.12. That's literally one patch. This ability has been nerfed and buffed more times than I can count, I'm pretty sure.
It's just a hard ability to balance, right?
They
repositioning in an AoE.
They even made a meme about it, you know, and some of the patch notes that they made, you know, in the past.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There was a hidden one where it would say vacuum AoE, something, something.
They nerfed the Darkseer so badly. This hero just... Oh, God. He's still going to get the kill, but, like, he's going to lose the siege creep now.
Oh, no.
That's pretty bad, actually.
Losing the siege creep?
I think you're joking, but I think it's actually a legitimate question.
No, it feels like... I mean, it kind of is a joke, but yeah. I mean, the siege creeps are so valuable. Like, you actually just sit there trying to keep it alive as long as possible.
God.
I really like this Faceless Void Helm of the Dominator build, though, because there weren't too many good offlane Void builds. You know, you transition into, like, Mask of Madness and damage, or go full utility with, like, a Blink Dagger, Chronosphere. There's nothing really in between with the Helm of the Dominator. Gives you that extra farm speed, allows you to keep on pressuring. Makes a lot of sense. Like, in the past, it used to be Vlad's, right? And that's just outdated, Mott. Nobody buys this item.
God, it's so outdated. Compared to... Why would you get a Vlad's when you have 8 HP regen and 20 attack speed from a better item that gives you a creep?
That's right. Offlaners are lonely, Mott. They get a nice friend to hang out with.
It's actually so true. You know, that's a really good point. I don't know if you meant to bring this up, but, like, offlane is in such a bad spot now that it feels like they need an item like Helm of the Dominator. You know?
I agree.
Aframoosh getting, he's the one running at Grimm's, but he can't find anything. And I know, like, there's probably better ways to balance the offlane than just have Helm of the Dominator be an insane item, but I don't know. And Snare and Magic Missile will be traded between the two supports. Good vacuum, but there's no wall. He doesn't do any damage. They might find Lumic. He can Song. They earn. He's actually alive, and now the Sanities comes out. They've got a double Skylark's dead. Aframoosh is going to be the triple.
My God.
Oh, they gave it to Grimm's, actually. How did they get that kill? He cold-feeded him. That's pretty impressive.
The bombs are coming out so early in this game, Mott. It's only 15 minutes in. He's got 48 installed in that fight.
Dude, there is no better feeling than to be an OD and have max-level Arcane Orb before anybody has nearly enough HP to deal with. Like, this is why I like the max Arcane Orb build better than the max Astral. I know that you get a lot more farm with the max Astral, but, like, God, does it feel so good to just wreck people.
Everyone dies in, like, 4 auto attacks. It's pretty nuts.
Like, they don't have they have 1 intelligence hero, and he still dies because he's not even that smart. Yol is 2 auto attacks away from death. Good epicenter, though. Okay. And this is starting to turn out pretty well. They do get the kill on Skylark, but whatever. They can Song to disengage if they want to for execution. I don't think they need to. Meanwhile, the top lane, you've lost your tier 2 tower, and boy, is he about to hit your tier 3. He needs another web.
It's farm time, Mott. Don't be silly.
Yeah, fair enough. He could have gotten a little damage done. He now has a Desolator, by the way, too.
So we have 3 Dominators in this game, right? Lone Druid has 1, Darkseer has 1, and Faceless Void has 1. Any others? Would anyone else like to join the party?
Why doesn't the Sniper get one? Come on now. I'm sure
he's not doing it right.
Yeah, I know. If you're not building Helm of the Dominator on Sniper, you need to be disappointed in yourself.
Yep, on Sniper.
I hope and nobody's actually taking this seriously, because I feel like I'm about to ruin some pubs by saying that. I deeply apologize. I'm sure it's not terrible, but Skylark might be dead.
It's probably one of those items where you can get away with building it on most heroes and having it be pretty decent.
Yeah.
You know, what if Sniper runs around with the Tomato, the Hellbear Smasher, gets that extra attack speed aura?
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, it helps a little, but it's just... You're never going to be in range anyway, so what's the point? I guess you can micro it in range.
It's true.
I don't know.
Doesn't seem that useful.
Yeah, don't buy it on Sniper, please. Just don't buy it in general, especially if I'm playing against you. Make my life a little bit easier.
Yes, agreed. No, are we gonna see carriers like the Clinks come out to counter Helm the Dominator and offlaners? What?
I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not, because Clinks is pretty garbage.
He's pretty bad. I've seen Clinks more in the past week and a half in like Carlo and Andrew's pub games than I've ever seen it before. And they literally rage every time because that hero is such garbage.
Yeah, he's not great.
Like, haha, I am a Clinks. I have single target damage and I have 500 HP until I use my ability. That sucks, and I don't know why it still is a thing. Why is Death Pact still an ability, now that I think about it, right? Like, that ability seems very silly. And I'm sure there are ways to balance Clinks around that.
It was better when it had a shorter cooldown with shorter duration. Big chronosphere.
That is a giant chrono. But they don't have any damage because the OD's not there. But they'll find Afromush anyways because they had him on the... ooh, that's a nice vacuum. OD in the meantime actually died. But Skylar cannot move because he was stopped for a moment there before he got ensnared. And I don't know if he just gave up or if he like crashed or something.
Yeah, I saw that too. He just stood there for about a second and a half.
He probably just took his hands
out
off the keyboard.
I'm sure he knew he was dead.
Yeah. So OD continues to die. He has got Blink and Hurricane Pike, but he's clearly still having issues. I don't know how he died, actually. Was it Avenge?
Just got stunned and clicked down.
Yeah. Lincoln Sphere will help against that, I suppose. I was thinking more along the lines of BKB. I guess you could still get swapped, though, so it's probably just to be... I guess it's safer to get the Lincoln Sphere, then.
Yeah, it's also good against the Sand King, right? You can't get Blink stunned and initiated on.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's going to be a while before he gets there, though. Ags is kind of close to done for Van. He's like 2,000 away. And then you really start... They have a 10k lead, by the way. Quietly, they've garnered a 10k lead at 19 minutes into this game.
Yep, quite sizable. But Lone Druid, he's working on Radiance line. This could be a potential game changer. Radiance is a disgustingly strong item.
It's really good, and actually, I feel like as long as he doesn't get chronoed, he's pretty tanky. He can survive a lot of this damage, except OD. When he comes in and hits him like 3 times, he'll die. So he just needs to avoid the OD. If he could do that, he might be able to survive in these fights. Although Brood could probably get on top of him, too. It's going to be tricky. It's a potential game changer, but that's the word I would use, potential. You know?
Yep.
Because...
That's the key word, right?
There's a very good chance that it doesn't do anything, or he doesn't even get it, because they just push aggro and win the game here, maybe.
Yep, Skylark looking for the vacuum into the Sand King combo.
They're going for it. Burrow Strike comes out. The Epicenter getting channeled. The wall is down. The Chronosphere comes out, but they've already lost one. The swap comes in. They're going to try to find Skylark. It doesn't do any damage. And that is a very good sign for Clutch Gamers. The unfortunate thing is they only got a support Naga out of it. But they do hold, and that's critical.
It looked pretty, though, didn't it?
It did. You know, if Skylark... If Darkseer is a better hero, that's a team wipe, right? Like, it has to be. There's no way that should have happened. You know, like, they all survive. Like, a Burrow Strike Epicenter plus the Vacuum Wall combination? Are you kidding me? How is that not just 3 heroes dead?
Yep, that's what all the 5 Darkseer players in the world's dreams are made of, right? Big vacuums into the combo.
I used to love playing Darkseer. I loved this hero. And it was fun, because Vacuum Walls were one of the biggest spells back in the day, alongside Black Holes and RPs and all that stuff. And now you vacuum and it's like, wah. That's it. I don't know what that noise was, but that's what it sounds like when you have a really sad time. Yeah, that. Exactly that, actually.
Yeah, Darkseer is a shadow of his former self. I think he's actually my most played hero, and I don't mean in pubs, I mean in like scrims and in matches.
Yeah.
And I haven't played this hero in like 2 years.
Do you like him? I mean, you know he's a bad hero, but do you like him as a hero? Like, do you think he's fun?
I absolutely hate him.
Really?
Yeah. I feel worthless playing this hero.
Okay, well, yeah, but that's just the hero being bad. I mean...
Yeah.
If the hero was better, you'd probably like him more.
I think I'm Darkseered out for life.
I bet there's going to be a day that comes around very soon where he's the hero that wins pubs. You know, because they're going to buff him. They have to. And then you'll get to love him again. There's also...
They'll actually buff him on. I think in competitive, he has his place. He owns
Yeah.
the Dominator.
I was
A lot
just
of,
thinking that he might not actually get buffed.
In a lot of NA teams are playing Darkseer, actually.
I know I'm like we're being hyperbolic, or I am being hyperbolic about how bad the hero is. I don't actually think it's that awful. I think it's bad. I think you're right, though. It has its place. I think every hero in Dota has its place in competitive play. Unless, do you think there's like a hero that's just awful and can't be played in competitive Dota?
There are heroes that are so bad that they only have like a potential game, like 1 in 1,000 games, like
Like a
Huskar,
Huskar, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're ever going to change
Clinks.
it so that, you know, he actually gets picked. Oh, was there
It's
a
just
Ricky?
so hard to balance, right? Like Huskar used to be pretty strong
Oh my god.
back when his
Optic played a Ricky. It's like the first time I've seen that hero competitively.
nice.
Anyway, sorry. They're going to try to go on Nando. And that's a very good song, Disengage. They have Chrono. Ice Blast.
Oh,
They need the
boy.
Chronosphere, though. They're going to have the root, though, onto Yol. He's dead. And now, if they Chrono, they don't have to worry about swap. They found Aframoosh. They're pinging him out like crazy. Do they have detection? No. I don't think so. There's a Kai on the Ancient Apparition, by the way.
Nice, nice.
Are they going to Chrono Scalark? No, they could Chrono Aframoosh. That'll take him out of Sandstorm. Lumic is sitting right next to him, and I don't think has any idea.
Yep.
Anyway. So, I mean, like... Oh, God. I'm glad Alchemist isn't in the meta anymore.
You don't miss him?
No, not at all. I think
Why?
he's extremely boring.
Radiant's middle
He's
Until
part of
he
the
gets,
vast
like, late.
majority. He's quite boring. He does the same thing in every game. He farms creeps, gets radiance, and farms some more creeps, and then eventually runs down mid.
I've seen one exciting Alchemist game, which was like the Frankfurt Major Qualifiers, and it was like Alliance versus, I don't know, some other European team, and Loda got gigantic, even though they were down like megas or something. And then it's like one of the sickest comebacks I've ever seen. But of course it was an Alchemist, and he had like Mjolnir and all that snazzy stuff, and he just went hard.
Wow, fancy.
Yeah. But anyway, Clutch Gamers are going to need to have as big of a comeback in this game if they want to win. Because right now it's looking pretty rough. They've gotten 8 kills. The Sniper is still very farmed. And as long as he doesn't get caught with a Chrono or they have the Venge to help him out of that situation, they'll be fine. Van has a Blink Dagger. He is Invis, which I don't know if he was spotted on top. There was a sentry here, but I don't know if they had the vision. I think they know, though, considering their positioning.
Radiant's middle
So
tower is
they
under
could go on Scalark bottom. They're looking for Chrono in mid, though. They just need a... They should see Faded up here. They almost did.
Man.
Radiant's middle
If they just had a...
There it is.
There it is.
He jumps in and he gets the Chronosphere. They found the big kill in the Sniper, and Aframoosh has to run. And he does have buyback, but that's step one of taking the racks and the buildings in this game, is getting that kill on the Sniper.
Yep, Sniper is down and out. Darkseer. It's still pretty difficult to push in the Darkseer and Sniper, but Sniper happens to be dead. There still isn't a potential for that combo, and Lone Druid almost has Radiance.
Yeah, that Radiance. If only it had been there earlier, this game might be a little bit closer. They dust up the Sand King who blinks. The dust did connect. Hurricane Pike is going to hit. Good smoke from Yul. Otherwise, he might die there to level 4 Arcane Orb with all the damage that he has. But it's a tier 3 gone. And they're doing a really good job of spreading out this time, with the exception of Nando and Carlo. They're kind of together. Vacuum hits. They get it onto Carl, but he's fine. He's got BKB. He's not even going to use it. Swap comes out, but they do lose Yol. They're also trying to find Scarlark. Insatiable Hunger comes out, but he can't get any auto attacks with it. So now they might lose Carl here if they're not careful. The Shrapnel comes out. They need an Assassinate. They do have it on Nando. He needs to Astral himself. Nice timing. He does get it off. The Ensnare onto the Lone Druid Bear. The Radiance is up. And there's the Chrono, the counter initiation. They need more damage, though. They're going to try to find the Sniper. The Spiders do come out. They've got the Dust, which will slow him down a little bit. They've got the Cold Feet and another Ensnare. That secures yet another kill on this Sniper. And now they're trying to chase and find Ajit. And he does get the Savage Roar off, which will keep him alive for a moment. Song comes out, but they do lose the Ancient Apparition. And now it might be time to back, and I think they're thinking the same thing. Execration are going to head out of here. They don't have a TP for Lumic. He actually needs to just run. Oh. No, it didn't quite work, sadly. It was a good effort, Lumic. It just happened to be the Sniper auto-attacking the one target that was your actual hero instead of these illusions. He is wasting a lot of time.
Yep.
I mean, the unfortunate thing is that they're not really getting anything done with the space. Not that it really matters. Oh, he's actually going to live. That's ridiculous. There is no way that should happen.
He goes for the illusion play, doesn't make it happen, and then yep, he's out of there. But clutch gaming, clutch gamers, clutch gaming, clutch gamers that happen to be gaming. They see Roshan.
He got there eventually. Yeah, it is up. And the the Naga, she's got like 20 armor and like 1400 HP. She's actually really tanky. She's probably tankier than this OD. Although he has a BKB, so maybe not. And he has a little bit more HP. Anyway, they're going to contest Roche, potentially. The Execration team is ready to go. They would like to get a kill and then get the rest of the racks, or rather, they just start the racks anyway. I suppose if this game goes on long enough, you're pretty happy with the Lone Druid getting farm, and like Clutch Gamers have decent late game, and they haven't lost racks yet. So it's kind of a better situation than Execration were in last game, in spite of all of that farm that they had.
Yeah, for sure. You're turtling with the sniper, but you know, the late game on the side of Execration is also no joke, right? You have the Faceless Foil with the Blink and Aghanim Scepter, OD of course, to chuck Spirit Bombs at you all day long, and Broodmother, not too bad at all late game. Going for the Nullifier, he has Blink and BKB, so we can just jump on top of the sniper if he wants in team fights.
Yeah.
Tough stuff to do.
Even if this, like, soon enough, this Void's going to start building damage, right? It feels like he has to. Well,
yep.
Like, and there's, like, he can start solo killing the sniper because the sniper's not tanky enough in these Chronospheres. And really, if the OD's there, it doesn't matter anyway. The OD will just kill all of them, but you're right. The late game is not a joke for Execration. 29 minutes in, they have a 15k lead. They're pretty much 1.5 fights away from winning the game, especially if the buybacks aren't going to be there for the raiding team, which they are currently, although the sniper did have to buy back in the last fight. So maybe more like 1 fight away from winning the game.
Yep, time to take out these shrines. At least Clutch Gamers doing a good job of split pushing. Lone Druid Bear is always taking care of one wave with Sanking in the bottom, who happens to be dead, but you know, still, he kills a creep wave mine.
Oh,
big win.
This bear's dead. Oh, good Savage Roar, maybe not. He's actually going to make it out. Good stuff. Yeah, they did get the Sand King. I didn't see it. Just a nice pick. They did use Chrono for it. And his BKB getting close to completion. Not quite there yet. Meanwhile, Skylark is farming the enemy jungle because that's pretty much the only safe place he can farm. He's trying to build his Lotus Orb. I think you could do Roche, can't you? You have a Desolator. I'm not sure why Execration haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it dies super fast with the Solar Crest and Desolator.
That's probably not good. That's a Hyperstone. That's the Sniper's Mjolnir.
Yep, Mjolnir would have been very crucial in the base defense. Alright, Chemo pings at the Roshan, Spiderlings are coming in.
It's not like, it is the second Roche. I didn't see them do the first one, I don't think. Or I was talking over it when they did. I can't remember.
There's been a lot of games, Mod. It's all a blur.
I'm a little tired, and that's embarrassing considering this is, you know, only supposed to be our second series today. Although, of course, for those of you that don't know, Fnatic did GG out, or excuse me, forfeited out. Now that TnC, of course, have gone through to the China Supermajor, so... Again, this game doesn't mean anything, just kind of a fun game to play between the two teams. And it's been pretty fun for one team in this game, not so much for the other team.
Yeah, it's true. Clutch Gamers are pretty much, they can just defend the base, that's about it.
Yeah.
There's a sniper, though. This guy makes it so that you have to dive the tier 4 towers to actually get to him.
The big issue is that the Mjolnir he would have had for this base defense is not there. That's like... maybe 60, 70 damage gone by the wayside. I'm sure that's, I don't know the accurate number, but that was just a guesstimate. Hey, Chronosphere. Good swap, though. And they will get the Venge. She'll die to Ice Blast. Aftermoose will also get dropped down by the OD. He's forced to buy back immediately. They have to try to get onto Ajit, and they will do so with the Sandinies. He's also going to have to buy back. Skylark will be the next to fall. They are just falling like dominoes in these fights. It is now Skylark dead for 48 seconds. OD jumps in. He's going to get burrow struck, but he does have Aegis. I don't think he's really that concerned. They were trying to find the sniper on Faded. If they can get that kill, it's a dieback, and it is. And he, well, not a dieback, but he doesn't have buyback. He's dead for 74 seconds. So there is that. They use the Aegis, and it is essentially Execration's game to lose, and it almost feels impossible to do so at this point. There's no sniper. He is your big damage dealer, even with the Radiant Spare. If they had Skylark, they could go for a vac wall combination. He did already drop the wall down. But that should do it, Brax. That should be the end of this game, and we'll have the series tied up at 1 apiece, I think.
Yep, definitely looks like it's about it. I mean, there's no way they can defend, right? There's the epi combo, damage coming through, but that's it.
It's not enough. Even the Void doesn't die, and he was pretty low. He's got another Chronosphere, too.
Whipping out the soccer ball.
Yeah. They've got the dome. They're going to dive. And, oh, I mean, people know what soccer is. If you say football, you confuse the Americans. If you say soccer, you don't confuse anybody, right?
But then they're gonna think I'm stupid for calling it soccer.
I don't think Europeans think we're stupid for calling it soccer. I think they know that we have a sport that we don't call American football because it's just football. Anyways, that's GG, by the way, in case anybody was wondering.
Well, guys, if you think I'm stupid for calling it soccer, make sure you send me some lovely tweets at BraxLikesDota on Twitter. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion.
No.
Because I always wonder about these things.
Send it to Zyori TV.
Yep.
If you really want to let Brax know.
Guys, make sure you send it to Zyori TV. He always relays the messages to me, and he goes through the filter, you know. He goes through a lot of garbage.
He is contractually obligated to give Brax any feedback he receives from his Twitter following. I think that's very important, folks. Anyway, that's going to do it. That is it as far as the SCA qualifiers are concerned. I don't know if NA's done. I think there's one more day. There is
one more day.
One more day of the NA qualifiers, but we have 6 of these, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 of the 6 regions on. Jesus, that took me an embarrassing long amount of time. But okay. It is going to be TnC moving on from the Southeast Asian region to make it to, of course, the China Supermajor as TnC 2-0 Geek Fam in that last series that they played. They end 4-1-0, which means they lost one map, one game out of all the games they played, and that was against the Prime earlier today. And the Prime were very close to 2-0ing TnC. However, I think even if they did, the result would have been the same. TnC looked pretty poised to beat Geek Fam in that series, so...
Yep, Mont. I just wanted to say that TnC have looked fantastic ever since they brought in Armel. Armel played on Execration and a few other notable Southeast Asian teams, and he's the young guy. You know, he's like 17, 18. I don't know how old he is, but he's pretty darn young.
Yeah.
And Cuckoo, he's also young, but he's been in the scene forever, so a veteran, even though he's pretty young age-wise. And yeah, I mean, that takes a lot, right? When you have one of the best Southeast Asian mids step down from his position to, I don't want to call it a downgrade going to support, but moving from his comfort position to allow room for the new young gun.
That's really the impressive thing, to just say, hey, listen, I know you're better at this. I'm going to give it to you, and I can function better in this role as the leader anyway. And just, you're absolutely right. They've looked pretty immaculate since they've added Armel. Of course, the Bucharest Major was their real coming out party and what they actually got done at that tournament. Their other results have been pretty solid as well. They got 4th at the DAC 2018 tournament against Virtus Pro, and they lost to Virtus Pro of all teams. That is not a bad team to lose to.
Exactly.
And they did lose, however, to to Fnatic and GESC, and that's a minor. So I think they'd rather have this result over the GESC tournament. Preferably, they would have liked to have both, but you can't always be that lucky, Brax.
Yep, agreed. And the Southeast Asian region has gotten so strong. I would say this last year, you have Fnatic, Mineski, and TnC coming out of there, and they're all teams that are very competitive on the international scale.
Yeah, I'd say so. The SEA region has become quite the perennial powerhouse. Mineski especially really showing up at that DAC tournament, having an absolutely fantastic time. But with that out of the way, that's going to do it. Now, I know you guys might be confused if you're just joining us. There are only going to be the 2 series tonight, obviously because TnC made it through Fnatic not really wanting to play the last series, and I don't think anybody's going to blame them. So it's been an absolutely lovely time casting for you guys. This will be my last game for, I think, probably a while. So I really appreciate you guys coming out and checking us out here for the SEA and South American regions. Hopefully I'll get to see you guys soon or talk to you on Twitter. But for now, that's going to do it for me and Brax. So if you've enjoyed the cast, you can follow us on Twitter at BraxLikesDota, at mo2 for myself. We really appreciate it if you do. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.